Alrighty. Welcome to LOL Midwest 2024 Winter Split. Happy to have you on this Thursday evening. Tonight we're going to have Peanut Butter and Jelly versus the Small Brain No Mechanics. This past Sunday I streamed the Small Brain No Mechanics. They unfortunately lost an 0-2 matchup to the Backdoor Bandits. After draft here, I will pull up the standings for the league, for this group. We'll kind of go over that. But as for now, we are in a fairly good matchup. This is essentially to be 2-1 versus being 1-2. Pretty substantially different start there. Tonight, you are hosted by this league's favorite caster. I'm just kidding. I love all the other casters. Caster Pugsley. I'm casting alone this evening. I unfortunately do not have anybody here with me. But that doesn't change the fact that this is going to be a banger of a series. Really hoping for a nice 3-game series tonight. And I'm just happy to have you. Happy to be here. Draft should be kicking off here soon. We do have the Mechanics on the blue side to start out, and the Peanut Butter and Jelly Boys on the red side. While we're waiting for draft to kick off, I'm just going to mess with a few settings, and I will be right back. Thank you. Alright, welcome for the second time to this Thursday cast of the Law Midwest Rec League. You are hosted by Caster Pugsley today. Unfortunately, we're unable to get a second caster for tonight's series. We have the Small Brain No Mechanics versus Peanut Butter and Jelly in this very crucial 1-1 matchup. Winner goes to 2-1. Has a very good start to the season. Loser goes to 1-2, kind of scrounging at that point, hoping that they can sneak their way into the playoffs. This is Law Midwest. This is going to be a best of 3 series that we do have here. Hopefully we do get that third game. The last few series that I've casted have been 2-0s. Last night we had, so far in my opinion, the series of the split. Despite it being a 2-0, both games were absolute bangers. With Coin Flip taking down the Tom Kinch Bencher, or Tom Kinch Gamers. So we have a Victor first pick. This has actually been a trend in this league for the last week or so. I have seen Victor first pick in multiple series, which is different teams. So a lot of teams are taking this strategy. He's very strong right now, especially with the small changes, small rework to him and his ult specifically. Well, yesterday we saw Victor blind picked on 1 twice, and the team that did that 2-0'd the series. We've seen different strategies into this Victor. We've seen the Artillery Mage Zoe angle. We've seen the Bruiser Silas angle. Nothing has worked so far against Victor in this league. We'll see if that changes today. Right now they're hovering the Corki on the side of Peanut Butter and Jelly. They do lock in the Corki Syndra, so this is a wonky little flex they got going on. These are 2 traditional mid laners. That's probably a Corki bot lane, but this could be a Syndra ADC, a Corki mid, a Syndra support, Corki ADC. There's so much flexibility in these first 2 picks. Granted, I don't necessarily know how strategic these 2 champs are, as I don't think they synergize in a team comp very well. They're definitely going to have to build around them. There's 2 strong DPSers, especially Syndra with her absolutely crazy combos and burst potential there. On the side of the mechanics, they are hovering this Tristana. I think this would be assuming this is a Victor mid lane, this is going to be a really strong pick into the bot lane, really get some priority. Really curious to see what support they pick with it. They opt not to take the support on 3, and they take the Cassante, securing that top lane. Very safe top lane pick. Not much counterplay there, unless you want to get real cheeky with like a AP Cho'Gath or something. And even then, I don't even know if I'd consider that a counter pick. Back to the Peanut Butter and Jelly. They're hovering this Master Yi. I'd be really shocked if they take the Yi. It's just not a pick that you really see in competitive, and they were trolling, as I predicted. They do lock in that Jarvan, a much stronger pick in a team, in a competitive environment. Especially if you had the Yi, something like Syndra, Corki, Yi. Those, like, where's the CC outside of Syndra? That would have been an awful composition. So bringing in the Jarvan brings in a lot of crowd control to make up for the lack of it thus far. We'll see who they decide to pick on 4 here as we're getting into the second round of bans. I haven't talked about bans much this game. We do see a lot of junglers banned. In the first round of bans, we saw a total of 4 junglers between the 6 bans, and we've already seen a Poppy banned in round 2 in total. So both teams opting to really heavily reduce that jungle pool. We'll see how it pays off. Once again, thanks for joining us. This is the LOL Midwest. If you are not regularly tuning into our league, you can join our Discord in the chat. On our profile, if you go to our profile, you can click on the Discord link, join there, go to our Rec League chat, go to our Rec League link. You'll be able to see everything for our league. We're an 18-team league, generally Emerald Plus, with many Master players in here. We're just here having fun. So wrapping up that second round of bans, we do see on the side of peanut butter and jelly. Not only do they take out that Poppy, which is a potential jungle pick, but it's also a niche support pick. So they're that combined with the Morgana, really interesting to see what they take for this Tristana in lane. It could be very, very crucial here. Peanut butter and jelly hovering these big tanky boys, the Mundo, the Ornn. Right now they're currently hovering the Ornn with 3 seconds left. They opt for a Rumble, so far, I'm not a fan of this peanut butter and jelly draft. They're opting to presumably take support on 5th pick here, assuming this isn't some weird Syndra support or something. Don't know how I feel about it. A lot of damage coming through on this comp. The Corki, the Rumble, the Syndra. This is really a get a lead and you can't out damage us comp. It could be just a Rumble gets an absolutely ridiculous lane lead against K'Sante and just snowballs that into roams, which just you can't ever deal with the Rumble. But outside of those win conditions, I don't think this team 5v5s very well. Really interesting to see what they pick on support here to deal with that. On the mechanics and response, they do take this Wukong in the jungle. I really, really like the Wukong pick here. I think it plays really, really well into something like a Jarvan, getting that nice armor pin just naturally in the Wukong kit is really going to allow this Tristana to deal some damage, this Wukong to get some nice big ults, and I think the Small Brain Mechanics have a very, very strong team comp. Once again, trying to go to 2-1 for the year. This is a very crucial series for both teams. We are looking at a do or die. So I am asked in draft or in chat who I favor, and I've kind of already gone through it, but I really do not like this draft for the side of PB&J. I think the Thresh heavily improves the comp significantly. Corki with dealing both AP and AD damage. You could argue that Peanut Butter and Jelly also has a very, very strong AP dealing team. You have the Rumble, the Syndra. The Corki deals a fair amount of notable AP damage. Thresh, obviously AP based. So this is... I just don't expect Peanut Butter and Jelly to win this game outside of dominating lane and turning that into a snowball. I don't think that this team 5v5s very well. I think they're extremely limited. It's just damage output, Jarvan able to single people out, Thresh following up on CC and out damaging them. The big concern is when Jarvan and Thresh blow their CCs, whether they hit or not, what are you going to do for the rest of the fight while you're waiting for those things to come up? On the flip side of that, Thresh ult, Jarvan ult can be really debilitating if you can get multiple people in those ults. So that is one way to look at it. If they can really, really get these Thresh, Jarvan, and Rumble ults synergized, that is one way that this team comp does work, but there's... with things like Wukong Dash, Tristana W, it's going to be really easy to escape those types of combos, especially with the lack of CC to keep them in those positions. So, that's just my 2 cents on it. I've been wrong many times when casting this league. We'll see. I will keep draft up here for a little bit. While I keep draft up, I am going to pull up the league standings, and that'll be something to talk about and look at while we are waiting for this game to start. We're always going to be a few minutes behind, so it's just going to take a few minutes for us to get into draft. As I'm pulling up the season standings here, it is fairly small. Let me make that a little more readable for y'all. So hopefully you all can see what I'm seeing. I think that's fairly readable. But as you can see, we're here in Group B in our 18-team, 3-group, 6-team in each group league. Right now we're in this 3-4 matchup. Both teams have 3 points on the year. This win would put them in a tie for 2nd place in this group and much closer to a playoff spot than starting 1 and 2. I don't think starting 1 and 2, especially in this group, with how close this group is compared to some others, I don't think starting 1 and 2 is inherently eliminating you from playoff contention here, but it does not feel good, and you want to avoid that. If you do lose here, you're likely going to have to win out to even have a chance at playoffs. But so far from what I've seen, I would say Coin Flip is probably my favorite to win the league at this point. I haven't seen all 18 teams, but from what I have seen of Coin Flip, I think their ability to team fight cohesively and stick to a common plan and execute that is by far the strongest in the league. Another team that I also have my eyes on are the Backdoor Bandits, 3-0 in Group B. Small Brain No Mechanics actually lost to this team on Sunday. Backdoor Bandits, very, very strong laners. Their mid laner is just absolutely debilitating. Rurika has just wildly good picks. And back to Coin Flip, they also have just the most outlandish support picks. I don't even know how you plan around that in draft when you're playing Camille support and Elise support. And then in Group C, I'm not as familiar with a lot of these teams. I have seen the Benchers one game, and I have seen Team Ghost. Team Ghost looks fairly strong. We'll see if they can keep it through the rest of the split. We're 2.5 minutes away from game. I'm going to step away real quick, and I will be right back while we are waiting for this matchup to start. And yes, Julia did correct me in chat. It was not the Backdoor Bandits. It was the Load the Cannons who actually beat Small Brain No Mechanics on Sunday. Thank you for the correction there. Very good series. All in all, Load the Cannons were able to pull that one out. And the Cannons are the team with that mid lane I was referring to, Rurika. In that Week 1 matchup against the Backdoor Bandits, very close Game 3, 3-game series. Backdoor Bandits come out on top. These are definitely the two contenders here in this group. Alright, we are getting into game here. Alright, so let me just, so the mechanics are blue side. Let me just update this real quick. I will restart the the game here if there is any action while I'm doing this. The mechanics, and we are PB&J. Alright, looks good to me. Let's get back in game here. So far got, looks like we did get a ward right here. It looks like that did come from the Corki, so not a bad ward. Deep ward on that blue side for that Corki. Looking around the map, red side, the peanut butter and jelly getting nice wards over here in both sides of the jungle. Gonna get some really good information wherever this Wukong starts. He does opt to start on that blue and path down towards bot lane. Does not surprise me when you have something like a K'Sante in the top lane. Even against a threat like a Rumble, K'Sante is going to play one way, and that's not die and scale. And if he can get kills, get some kills. Okay, over here in the bot lane, I'm very interested to see how this lane matchup goes. I think the Corki Thresh do have some agency here to really make up for this draft that I don't like for PB&J. I think something like a Corki can take over a lane very, very well if you aren't careful and do not respect that damage. Early, not so much, but always going to have that nice poke. In the mid lane, going to be a pretty standard mage matchup. Just because of the recent buffs and changes to Victor to promote Arcane, I am going to favor the Victor just simply based on that. And I do have a little bit of bias watching Zemo play some really strong lanes this year. Top lane, it's going to be the same story. It's going to be how much can Rumble get here. Such a high damage dealing champion. Let's see if it pays off for him and he's able to actually get a lead and snowball that. Yeah, I appreciate chat saying the title. I can get into the manager when I'm not in this game, but that's not something that I have made a conscious effort to do consistently, and I apologize for that. Here it does look like Victor has popped both of his pots. The Syndra here does have a pot and a biscuit, and she just hit 4. So nice combo there. Really able to get some damage down. Really making up for the fact that Victor does not have his pots here. He's going to have to use his teleport now. So far, pretty boring game. No action yet outside of Victor having to burn his TP just now. Even gold, stay even game. Wukong was able to 6 camp into that top scuttle. Jarvan 6 camping into that top scuttle. Wukong got the bot scuttle. So, very standard 28 CS start for both junglers. Down in this bot lane, forces the Tristana flash out. Didn't really have the damage they expected onto that Corki. Corki did have to burn his healing up there, but at the end of the day, you take that. They also did have to burn their sums, but... And the nice assist from the Wukong here to get that lane pushed. I don't know what they're doing here. They could have gotten a little bit earlier back to coincide with this Tristana, especially with this Jarvan already completing the back and halfway through his Gromp. I understand that Wukong had to push his lane there. That's fine. But staying and walking up, minor mistake that can have compound results. Let's see if K'Sante chooses to all in here. He does have a lot of health relative to this Rumble. Rumble opting to start the back here. K'Sante sniffs him out. Realizes what that Rumble is doing there. See a nice little Jarvan invade as he walks in with the sweeper. Pops the bloom there to get good intel on that Wukong, knowing that that Wukong is quite far behind him. Now he's kind of caught up, but for a little bit there, he's a little bit lower than CS. Jarvan waiting to see if he can get a little cheese onto the Wukong. Wukong opts to continue full clearing. Wukong notices that his Raptors, or actually opts to skip his Raptors and start the Dragon here as Jarvan does start the Grubs. So looking for an even 1-for-1 trade on these first two objectives. Just a very standard game here. It's not something I've seen very often in this league. I've seen lots of bloodbaths and lots of entertaining. This coincides more so with what you would expect to see in a pro game, or just two teams that really recognize the stakes of this matchup. Not wanting to start the season 1 and 2. Leona roams mid, flashes to try to get the Q onto the Syndra. Syndra responds in time, matches flash for flash. That gives Victor the flash advantage here in the mid lane. Jarvan in the area does have sweep for vision here, but after trading objectives with the Wukong, just opts to... Oh! So another flash for flash trade for... the game there. Nice W stun from the Victor, allowing that Wukong to walk in there and secure the kill onto the Syndra. Syndra still does have that TP up, so we do see Wukong helping push this lane. Recognize that Syndra does have that teleport, gonna be able to return to lane soon. But all in all, first blood for the mechanics, 1,000 gold lead plus the Dragon. Very unfortunate we were able to get a secondary caster for this game, but I'm happy to have all of you here. Up in the top lane here, not really sure what this Rumble's doing. He's down 15 CS when he counterpicked into the K'Sante, so this could just be for late game damage insurance. Not that they needed it, but not really working out for them in lane as you would hope. If I'm the K'Sante, I'm very happy with how this lane is going. Able to go get those that fruit and just return right back to lane. K'Sante does have that Rumble down to about 20% health, flashes in, and just absolutely bodies that Rumble, getting second blood, and that Rumble does not have teleport. That is going to be a sizable gold lead in the top lane when you're playing a tank. He opts not to take the turret plate here. He doesn't have the grubs. Doesn't really have the damage. Just going to let that XP die so the Rumble cannot get it. I do believe that that turret plate is going to go unclaimed, as these minions should be able to get it, and they do. But what's losing the turret plate if nobody gets the gold and you got a kill out of it? So down in the bot lane here, they are able to get this Corki under the turret. Does quite a bit of damage on it, but not enough to finish it off. Let's see if something like this Tristana wants to dive. When you don't have the Wukong with you, who's one of the best dive junglers, I would really caution away from diving, especially when you have a good lead 10 minutes into the game. You don't want to blow this. You want to start stacking those dragons, not give a reason to get this Corki online. My cat Fizz, named after the champion here, did just jump on the screen, so he wanted to get front row seat to this exhilarating Rec League matchup. Wukong up here in the top lane, able to come in. That Rumble knew that he was there because Wukong was clearing the vision, so not too much. The Rumble is down a level now, down 20 CS, down a kill. This K'Sante has a lot of MR, already has the Ruby Crystal and the Crystalline Rejuvenation bead, so gonna be extremely difficult to take down this K'Sante right now unless he really, really oversteps. Do you see that Thresh roam up to the top side to try to secure the 6 grubs here. They're really being aggressive with this vision acquisition. Jarvan really wanting to be aggressive and go in on the Wukong, but Wukong can just throw his clone there and skedaddle out. It does appear that the mechanics really want to contest this. They're allocating a lot of their resources here. Leona ult does whiff as it does force the flash out of Syndra, but she still goes down to that Tristana. The Rumble very, very quietly able to secure that 4th grub. So they are going to be able to get those Void Mites on the map with that 4th grub. They do trade Syndra for it, unfortunately, but at least they do come up with that very, very, very important 4th grub. Viktor really wanting to step up and harass this Jarvan as he's walking back into his jungle. Here we do have the Dragon up. It is a Mountain Drake. Always good early pre-20 Mountain Drakes really, really can make differences. So, I'm not sure if Jarvan's going to want to start this. He is clearing the vision here. We'll see. He does just clear the vision. Is looking to gank the spot with the mobility of the Tristana. She steps up. She does have to burn that flash. And then they do ult the Leona. So both flashes burned out for the mechanics bot side. That is very crucial, especially trying to secure this 2 Drake stack. Wukong in the area. He is going to go in. He does have his ult. Does pop his ult. Gets a nice ult. Nice second ult there by the Wukong. But this Corki's DPSing. Able to secure the 2 kills so far onto the Corki. So far, a 3-for-1 in the spot lane fight does get PB&J back in this game. They're able to get that second dragon, get a shutdown onto the Corki, plus 2 kills. Very, very good there. Unfortunately, that second kill did go to that Thresh. If Corki gets 3 kills there, this game can get out of hand real quick, real fast, with a 3-kill Corki roaming around, walking around at 13 minutes. Also, really happy to see this Earth Rider skin Corki. I just want to zoom in on it real quick. This guy is riding a manatee. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that. I'll actually stop. But I do love Earth the Corki Rider. I think it is a top 10 skin in the game, most likely. Can't go wrong riding a manatee. With, like, a Gatling gun on a manatee. Doesn't get much cooler than that. Yeah, manatee also known as the sea cow, if you didn't know. Fun little trivia fact. They are going to dive. The mechanics here are going to opt to dive this Rumble, get him out there. Now they're able to trade the aggro really, really well. They dedicate all 4 of their 5 team members as Tristana split pushes in the bot lane. That is going to be first turret on the top side for the mechanics. Doesn't look like Syndra's able to get mid. So K'Sante is going to keep pushing. I expect them to turn this right into a Herald. They could go mid, but they have to assume that the Syndra has that heavily warded, as she does. They do opt to start this. I really like it. I understand that Viktor does have to return to lane, so if they want to dedicate the resources, not that they have anybody, they'd have to dedicate Syndra and Rumble here right now. Wukong a little vulnerable. In the bot lane, they are able to trade the top for bot turret there. They don't get that first turret gold. Fairly crucial. This K'Sante with the Hollow Radiance is extremely scary in my opinion. I do not want to see... I would not want to be a top laner having to play around that. This K'Sante is going to be an absolute pain to kill. And as I mentioned in draft, this team is very AP heavy, even with a Corki. Corki is a dual damage dealing champion. If this K'Sante can get really tanky with the MR, he may not die. They are able to catch Jarvan out in their jungle, get so much CC. Viktor able to pick that up. The mechanics are still engaging and harassing. Viktor able to pick up, or Syndra able to pick up the kill onto the Viktor there. So 1 for 1 so far in this total team fight. Syndra whiffs on shooting her ball at the Wukong. He's able to escape. All in all, 1 for 1 as K'Sante just able to farm and scale and get bigger and bigger, so when he enters the next big team fight, likely around this dragon in 2 minutes, he could be the difference maker. 1.7, actually 2,000 gold lead now for the side of the mechanics. Alright, we do see Leona engage onto this Corki. Not sure what this Tristana can do to follow up, because they're just going to CC that Leona to her grave. The damage there from that Corki, that 3-kill Corki with the Trinity Force and the Caulfield's Warhammer, do not know what that Leona has in mind. That Tristana does not have the ability to follow up on that the way she wants her to. Unfortunate for the side of Peanut Butter and Jelly. Or, not Peanut Butter and Jelly, I should say the mechanics, as they're the ones who lost the Leona in that match. Dragon spawning as the teams are starting to ping for it. Dragon is spawning in 1 minute, as we do see, and it is an Ocean Drake. So if you're able to get an early Ocean Soul or just stack these Ocean Drakes on this K'Sante, that is just so threatening as this game goes on. And even on something like a Wukong, I think Wukong is a champ that if you do CC lock him, can be blown up fairly easily. I think a lot of people treat him as if he can't be blown up, and they really, I mean, even when he does build like Dust Dance and stuff, it's just, he's not that tanky, and so getting Ocean Drakes and Ocean Soul on him can be very, very, very helpful. Just making him a bit stronger. They are going to be able to catch this K'Sante out. He has flash up. He does burst it. He does pop his ult. Is able to survive the 4-man commit there as we see the mechanics drop the Herald in the mid lane. And they're going to be able to get something and get priority over this Drake, while Peanut Butter and Jelly, they're still committing to this K'Sante. If they don't get him here, which they easily should, Shutdown does go on to the Rumble there, so very, very important. They're able to secure the gold lead. They're 100 gold up. They did trade Dragon for it, but it's essentially an even gold game at this point. They're gonna continue pushing with those Void Mites, and they are able to take down this tier 2 in the top lane. That is significant, as that's gonna push that very, very not long-lasting even gold back to a lead for them. As and once again, we're back at even gold as we're securing more turrets on the map for the side of the mechanics. They're able to get this, especially with the Tristana here, they're going to be able to secure this tier 2 in the bot lane. This game went from very quiet to a lot of action very quickly. One bright side that you could think about for this K'Sante here is the fact that they lost that tier 2. One bright side is it's just going to give K'Sante, there's no objectives really up on the map. He's just going to come to the top lane and have all the time in the world just to have some fun here. This could be my first 3-game series of this season in the 2024 winter season in our Rec League Sweat League here at LoL Midwest. Lots of 2-0s I've casted. Actually, I'm mistaken. I did cast a 3-game series earlier this year. And it was quite a game. So here we are, as we're really in the depths of this mid game at this point. Very, very slight gold lead for the side of the mechanics. It is 4 turrets to 4 turrets. The 4 grubs are on peanut butter and jelly, so doesn't matter too much, especially when you have things like Corki and just so much damage from this Rumble and Corki and stuff too. Like I mean, it did give them the ability to secure this top tier too. So it was very crucial. I don't think from this point on the grubs are going to matter that much, but it did have their purpose there. We're going to see this K'Sante just continue split pushing. We don't see any dragons or really any major objective. We do have Baron up, but especially in competition in a very crucial 1-in-1 matchup for both teams, not wanting to start the year 1 and 2. Probably not going to be the most apt to sneak a Baron in game 1 of this series. As Vic, the clicker, gets thresh hooked, does not matter. Takes a little bit of Baron damage. Victor is opting to split push here, so very, very important as he's trying to secure that second item. If he can secure second item before Syndra, they both should have it for the next big fight, but if he can find a window where he has second item and Syndra doesn't, could be a nice little advantage at some point in some fight. We do see K'Sante secure his second item. He now also has that Unending Despair. He is so tanky. Even things like this Jarvan and Corki are going to struggle doing damage to him because he does now have that armor. Let's see if he decides to fight this this Rumble here. Or I guess that is his own Rumble. Dragon spawning in a minute. Let's get a nice zoom out here for you viewers. So looks like the mechanics, they got a lot of prio in this jungle of the top side around this Baron. They're likely going to take out these blast cones, secure the vision here, but I just don't think they're going to start this Baron. They just want to take what they can on the map, which is this topside jungle of PB&J. It does matter. Wukong going in, goes invisible, pops his W, pops a nice ult in the mid lane. Huge Leona follow-up, able to secure that Thresh, as that's who they want to target there. Jarvan ult does come in. It does force the flash there out of the Jarvan himself, which is quite funny. So far, those health bars are blinking for mechanics, but they get out untouched as they also are able to get the Corki. 2 for nothing for the side of the mechanics off that Wukong engage in the mid lane. Very, very crucial going into this dragon spawn. Now, let's see if they're able to follow it up. This K'Sante is walking very, very quickly at this peanut butter and jelly jungler. A lot of dancing around. Health bars are seemingly back to where you want them to be. It is not going to be. They are not going to be able to match a 5v5, so they're just going to have to give up soul point here. Let's see if they decide to get a late engage. K'Sante does go in. He does pop the ult. Let's see how long he can last. Peanut butter and jelly may just have not have the damage as Wukong's able to secure the kill onto the Jarvan. They are continuing to follow up here. Huge Wukong ult allows the Tristana to DPS as she likes to do, able to securing the kill onto that Rumble. However, Corki picks up a kill on his terms. Wow, just that fight was absolutely bonkers. It ends up being a 3 for 3, but it was off of a 2 for 0 plus Dragon. So all in all, that's a 5 for 3 plus Dragon in favor of mechanics for that very long and extended action going on as they extend their gold lead back to 2K as we're starting to look at this Baron on this map. Thank you for joining LOL Midwest this evening. If you are not regularly here, feel free to join the Discord in our leaks on our page, in our description. You can join our Discord, go to Rec League chat. Feel free to, you can be a free agent sub for one of these teams if you are Emerald through Master, really. Maybe join the league next year if you're interested in playing. 18-team league. This is week 3, very crucial week 3 matchup as both teams are 1-1 on the year. Okie dokie, so still nothing really happening around here. Oh. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Let's get that back up. Good thing this was a very uneventful moment. Okay, here we go. Thank you for dealing with that very minor technical difficulty. Frame's looking really good here for stream, and we're between 40 and 55 this whole game, really, so really crisp viewing, at least for now, for our viewers. Streaming, especially on Twitch, for me, can at times be very, very clunky. This K'Sante getting this wave pushed really far, and this K'Sante now hitting level 16 does have that 2-kill lead, or 2-level lead over the Rumble. So if they do end up in a 5v5 situation anytime in the future, in the near future, pretty significant difference there coming from the top lane for the side of the mechanics there. We're back to where we were very early in the game. Just a lot of dancing around. Both teams really cautious at this point. It's very winnable for both teams. PB&J really has to make sure that they do not give up that soul that does spawn in a minute and a half for Mechanics. Mechanics could do something like decide to give a dragon up knowing that they already have 3 and opt to take something like a Baron. It's definitely something in play. I think they're going to prioritize getting the soul, especially with this K'Sante, who is just a monster at this point, as he has that sheen now. Back up here in this topside jungle, we'll see what happens. Both teams just dancing around. Now we do see pings coming around for this dragon. We see the mechanics pinging towards the dragon, and we see PB&J pretty much do missing pings around the dragon, just saying, are these guys here? Where are they at? They could be here. Who knows? They could be everywhere at this point. They've done so well with getting into the topside jungle and just not letting Peanut Butter and Jelly in there. It has been a great lead that they've been able to maintain. Just that nice pry on that topside jungle. Alright, we do see it's going to be another mid lane fight. Thresh does whiff his hook. Threshold does come out. We do see Jarvan go in here, but this Victor's doing a lot of damage. Pops his ult, able to get the double kill. First goes down the Jarvan and the Thresh. Syndra picking up a kill on the other side on the Wukong, but this Tristan is able to just snowball these W resets and just continue going in. So far, a 3-for-1 in favor of Mechanics. Both junglers down. They should be able to turn and secure this dragon if they go right here, right now. We do see Tristana starting it. Team trailing, coming in now. They do secure that Ocean Soul, very, very crucial. We do now have Elder in sight in the next 6 minutes, so the question is Baron going to go down before Elder here? There's 6 minutes on the map. You have Ocean Soul. You have a very tanky K'Sante. You have a Victor that has now 3 items. I think you can be very, very aggressive here on the side of Mechanics. And it appears they might just do that. So far, this is a very competitive game. Very good game one to start a nice series. When you look at the scoreboards all around, every single one of these 10 players is playing well enough, good enough to be in a competitive League of Legends league, and that's what matters. Leona drops this ult onto the Jarvan as he's taking his Raptors. He gets completely cornered by all five. They're able to take out the Jarvan. That should lead right to this Baron, as if you don't have a jungler, how do you expect to steal? You're probably not going to be able to. Rumble ult does come out on the Baron, but they're not going to risk it. Just let it die out and then smite it. Is exactly what they do. They don't even take a risk. Very well played, very disciplined by the mechanics, not just burning it and then having a sloppy smite and then the Rumble burden takes it. So taking this game very seriously, wanting to stay competitive in this league and get 1 week closer to that playoff spot. So we see Jarvan going in, trying to get an angle onto this Wukong there, but big Syndra damage coming out, but not able to take down the Wukong as just huge Leona ult comes in, really just gets a huge engage for the side of the mechanics. They're on their heels at this point as Tristana does go in. She forces her own flash out, but able to 0 to 100 that Syndra. Her team able to pick up the Thresh there and Corki on their way out. This should be end game here. You have the Baron, you have Soul. The only person that's up is Rumble, pushing 2 lanes in. I expect this game to be over. If I am the side of PB&J, I am drafting more cohesively. I think picking Rumble, Corki, Syndra is your 1, 2, 3. Or I guess they didn't pick Rumble, it was Jarvan. But still, Jarvan, Corki, Syndra. Or just Corki, Syndra on 1, 2 to me is just odd. I think getting some type of utility in a competitive environment early, you can find damage dealers however you want, but getting priority utility is more important to me personally, and I'm hoping to see some kind of change there going into this game 2. So let me just update some things here, like the series score and a few other things as we're getting ready for this game 2 draft. So the mechanics. Taking that very nice game 1, playing it very methodically, stacking the dragons. I think played very, very well. Even when the game got even, they forced that first turret up top. I really liked how aggressive they were, being the ones to force Peanut Butter and Jelly to respond on the bot side. So they're the ones who initiated getting that first turret, and I think they were just always the ones 1 step ahead in most situations in this game, and we'll see if they're able to do that in game 2. So this is last game's draft. We are just waiting for this game to start. Let me put it on the client while we wait. So we do give them a little bit of time. We might be able to get a second caster in here. It looks like Jimmy is about to finish his game. He may be able to play. We will see. So while we're in these intermissions, especially solo casting, it's nice to get a little bit of a break. So thanks for dealing with the fact that we do just have me casting for us tonight. Once again, I'm Caster Pugsley. This is Law Midwest. Oh, this is a nice chance for me to actually change our uh, Twitch channel headline right now because I want to update it to make sure it's accurately reflecting the teams that are playing. Uh, So we are starting draft right now. We do have uh, a side switch here, so let me get that also reflected. We do see PB&J ban that K'Sante early. I think that is a smart move. I think that K'Sante was a problem that entire game. They never had an answer for it. It was able to get online very quickly and was able to execute for that entire game. Very, very well played. It's been a very long time since I've gone in and like edited the stream for this channel, so I'm trying to change the name of the. There we go. So this is BB and J. There we go. So able to get that updated for you all finally. Sorry for the long wait there. Now let's get into draft. Allow me to do what I want to do here. So they first picked the Skarner. I think that's a smart move. I know that the Small Brain No Mechanics do play Skarner themselves from the last time I watched them, and so I think first picking it's not a bad move here. 1-2 for the Mechanics. We see Aurora Amumu much, much better, getting a lot of utility early, and can't get much more utility than an Amumu. Amumu is, especially if you can get a majority AP dealing team, he can really do some shredding there, shredding their MR, allowing something like an Aurora to just destroy. Do you see that Swain lock-in? Nice flex pick for the side of Peanut Butter and Jelly. I think Swain plays so well into so many comps. He can be part of like a death ball comp. Obviously, like Swain Old is just terrifying. I think he can play really, really, really well as a split pusher if he needs to, as long as he can get his stacks. Uh, there's a lot of ways you can play Swain. So they take Ari Swain, so that's Swain support. So interesting to see what they'll put with it. I think Swain's ability to affect objectives in the support role is extremely notable. He can be very dangerous roaming up to grubs, just putting himself in situations just to stack early, especially around those grub fights. I fully expect him to do that. It does look like we miss a pick here. They're putting in chat. Let me pull it up what they're saying. They said they're picking Sivir. They didn't ban Sivir. So this is a Sivir pick right under the Amumu. They're banning Gnar Aatrox. So Aatrox is banned. So they ban lots of top laners. Well, in total for this draft, lots of top laners banned. K'Sante, Mbessa, Gnar, Maokai and Udyr not so much, but technically could play top lane. A Gragas. So they're saying this could be an Amumu support. When you're banning a Gragas, that to me, especially when you've already picked the Aurora, yeah, I guess it could be Aurora mid, but I guess Gragas does flex into many roles too, so I guess it's just a safe ban if you really don't want to see it. They slam the Poppy here for the mechanic, so lots of flexibility with support, jungle with the Amumu Poppy. There's some potential flexing there. Aurora can still be flexed. They haven't picked, presumably mid, but they could put that Aurora mid and last pick the top if they truly want to do that. Peanut Butter and Jelly does take the Rakan on their 4, which means this is not a Swain support. This is a Swain ADC. That is an Ahri mid, and that is a Rakan support. So that is an APC Swain. I really like it. I'm a big fan of the Swain in carry roles, so see how well he can stack in that bot lane 2v2. And then they're taking the Darius here into the Aurora. So far, I like both team comps a lot. I actually favor Peanut Butter and Jelly a little bit. I love seeing the Cassiopeia pick. Big fan of the Sneck. One of my first champions, actually. I respect anybody who plays Cassiopeia, especially at a high level. It's just not something you really see nearly as often as I think you should. In comparison to like a Syndra or an Ahri, I think Cassiopeia has, especially in like lower level competitive play, like, you know, Emerald to Master, not quite like True Pro. I think Cassiopeia has so much agency, especially in lane, if you really can master her. Hitting her Q and sidestepping things, because hitting her Q gives her burst of speed, and then if she's able to turn that into them blowing their spells, and then you can just DPS. She is just gross. She can force you out of lane so quickly. So we are going to get this back. to the client. Gonna watch them play this draft out, and I'm gonna take a little breather. Just gotta wait about 2 more minutes to get into this game. I think that the mechanics drafted very, very well once the Skarner was drafted. The Skarner was picked very, very early, and I think Poppy being able to take Skarner out of well, anybody out of fights is always a utility, but not just that. You have Cassiopeia who can be real, real quick and just nimble and tough to ult. Sivir has her spell shield. You can ult Namumu, I guess. I mean, I guess if he builds like Liandry's first and like a level of AP, he could ulting him could be valuable. Especially if you can ult him before he ults or something like that and CC chain and kill him. Aurora also very, very nimble. Has stealth, so she can go invisible, use utility tools like that. So I think I really applaud the side of the mechanics drafting around playing into the Skarner. I still really like to draft for PB&J, but I think the Skarner is going to be a little bit nerfed playing into this team comp. If you can get some real early crazy angle ganks or something to like make up for a little bit disadvantage on just for him personally, that could be something he could try doing. Alright, we're getting in the game. Alrighty, so here we go. We do see a lot of the mechanics playing through top right now, so they're going through. Not gonna really see much. We do see Cassiopeia showing, so we'll see if Ahri and Skarner want to go any further and get a ward in there. It would not surprise me if that's something they want to do. They did do that last game. Darius should be able to walk out of here, as Cassiopeia is just a little bit too far away to do anything. So I'm really looking to see how these junglers path to start. We do see a nice ward there on both blue buffs. Both junglers are going to start their red side. Skarner opting to start his red. Poppy opting to start her raptors. So we could see a Poppy 3 camp up into a gank. It's possible. This Skarner, we'll see what he opts to do next. But a little bit of action. Amumu able to hit that bandage toss onto the Rakan. He's trying to get onto the Swain. Sivir able to DPS and really do some damage there, but he's forced to use his flash to avoid the execute there from the Sivir. She would have killed him immediately with that Q. He had to flash out. Swain able to get a stack, but for what cost? It's going to be really tough playing into this now. A nice Amumu bandage toss from a crazy angle, able to get that first blood for that Sivir. He does sacrifice himself, but the kill advantage there really does go to the mechanics because they got the kill onto the Sivir and first blood, and PB&J have it on that Rakan, which I love Rakan, cool champ. Never want to support really getting a follow-up kill to match the ADC. Does not feel good. Poppy looking to invade this blue here. Skarner, she knew that Skarner had to invest some resources bot there. He showed. He's still level 2. She's just going to take this, and he can't do anything about it. Very well played by the Poppy to 3 camp top and then go take his blue. She does smite it. Here, the mechanics have found themselves in a nice 2v1 as Amumu is still level 1, but he is just around the map. This little support Amumu coming up, coming to the top lane, getting a nice roam, and forcing that Darius, who didn't even bring teleport, off. Ahri might have caught this Poppy out. Oh, she misses her charm. Poppy able just to walk on out of there. Really interesting to see how they can utilize this Swain APC and play around this. I really am wanting this to get online late and be a menace with the Rakan, Ahri dashing around. You do see Skarner committing a lot of resources into this Poppy. We get some rotates on the side of both sides for this jungle fight. Flash from Amumu out, but Rakan follows it up, able to secure the kill there. It is a 3v2 in favor of PB&J. They are harassing hard into this blue side jungle of the Mechanics. It's going to be a 1-0. Rakan has 2 kills. They have a 400 gold lead. Both kills are onto the support, so it's just important to notice he's probably going to get some Lucidity boots early. That's going to be very nice. Feel very good on a Rakan getting full boots. Dragon is spawning here. And right now, and it's another Cloud Drake to start the game. Amumu caught himself out here. Swain able to get a couple of nice stacks. Kill goes down for the Skarner. So Swain, if Swain were to have been able to have gotten all 3 of these kills in the bot lane, he would be absolutely menacing. But so far, their kills are on the supporty champs. Nice on Skarner, though. He can rush that Heartsteel, get closer to it, start stacking it. The earlier you stack it, the more threatening it becomes. So we do see Skarner already have a belt and a additional ruby crystal in his inventory, so he's going to be packing some health there. Mumu's still level 3. He is just this Roman little support. He's just fid sick. He got a nice little angle onto the Ahri. She doesn't know he's there. She did ping, so she might ping that she knows he's there. Because they know that he's not in lane. They do have 3 here. Let's see what they can do. Mumu bandage toss onto the Ahri. She hits 6. She's able... Oh, she... Wow, that damage from that Ahri with only a Doran's Ring. I did not expect it. Here comes the revenge sources from the side of Peanut Butter and Jelly. They're able to get the kill pick up there. It's going to be a huge win for the side of Peanut Butter and Jelly. They're going to be up almost 1,000 in this game now, 5 kills to 2. Probably going to be able to make a play on this dragon now. Push out this mid lane for their mid laner. Both mid laners are going to TP right back to lane. Actually, Ahri's going to save her TP. That could end up being very big. You see, Cassiopeia forced to burn her TP to catch these minions here. Ahri can just walk right to lane. Doesn't even need to worry about it. This top lane, very even in terms of CS. We haven't paid too much attention to it, but I don't see any reason to think that someone has a lead. I think Aurora's just broken, so I'm always going to favor her in a 1v1 right now. Mechanics are going to take this first Drake, it appears. PB&J does just concede. Once again, very disciplined by this Mechanics jungler. When things like that Swain W come out, I mean, I guess when it was under 600, she could have just smited it there, but she doesn't even risk bad timings or anything. She just makes sure she did the same thing in last game. Very disciplined on her smites. Nice ward there for Ahri up on the red side jungle of PB&J. We do see the PB&J here on these grubs, so they did lose Dragon to the side of Mechanics in a now very even game, but they do pick up the grubs. So very similar to last game, Mechanics opted to prioritize that Dragon. PB&J was able to get the grubs. They were on opposite sides of the map, but it's the way she goes, bub. Sometimes she goes, sometimes she doesn't, and this time she went. Skarner able to go through the wall, do a whoop-de-doo. He doesn't have ult yet, so he can't ult that Aurora. She's able just to walk out. She is level 8, so be careful if you're Darius here. She could continue all inning. Rakan here, she was unaware. She does have to pop the ult. Skarner pops his ult, forces the flash out of Aurora. He may have caught himself on a backside, but here on this side, it's going to be a lot of flash. A couple flashes given up, a couple ults, and all in all, nothing really happened. Even gold state now as we are on this map. Looks like the Sivir Amumu really should be able to put some big pressure on this Ahri. If they do hit a CC, she isn't even able to secure the cannon minion there. So things like that are really big when you are being aggressive against this Ahri. She does have to pop the ult to force out the to not get hit by that Amumu. Mumu Flash is forced out because Swain does come in around from that tri-bush, pops the ult, walks towards the Amumu. Mumu forced to flash out of that. Do see a lot of people from the mechanics here. They might try to dive this. They are all here. Rakan's here. They may think they have caught him, but here is the artillery backup. The Cassiopeia ult comes out. She is DPSing. Cassiopeia is walking towards them, and like I said, she hits those Qs. She gets that move speed. She just hit a Q on Swain. She is walking towards him, and she is just going to hit another one and get closer, and boom, bam, boom. Swain's dead. That's the power of that Cassiopeia. She will just walk towards you, and you cannot escape her. 2 kills out of the Cassiopeia. Skarner able to hit a really, really nice combo onto the Aurora there, coming from a very shifty angle. Very well done by PB&J jungler there. And secures the kill onto that Aurora. This Skarner should have Heartsteel when he backs now. That is a 11-minute Heartsteel. That is exactly what he does have. He's going to start stacking that thing. It's going to be a menace running around here. Haven't seen action in chat for a while. Who y'all rooting for? You want a game 3? What do we want here? A lot of action going on down here. We do see Amumu go in onto this Swain. He has caught himself out in no man's land. He is just dead. They are going to give the kill over to the Poppy as Aurora stepped up to get that auto, but I don't know. I guess she felt a little threatened that they might not get it. It was a very slow kill there, but I think they could have been a little bit more patient, get it to that Aurora. Poppy's okay, though, because Poppy does have that tunneler, so she is going to be doing a bit of damage. Getting more gold onto her will be helpful. Poppy damage is very deceitful. It's one of those champs that you're just like, you haven't played against a Poppy in a while, and Poppy goes in on you, and you're just like, how did she take half my health? Alright, we do see mechanics here. They pop the Aurora ult. They're going all in. They're able to team fight this so well. So many ults. Huge Cassiopeia ult. The Mumu ult really turned that fight for them. It is a 4v2 now. This Swain is really doing some damage. Health bars are blinking for the side of the mechanic. Swain finally able to get the shutdown onto the Cassiopeia. It is an even gold game still. 9-6. What a crazy game 2 we have. This is a bloodbath. Nice Swain on the Swain there. Doesn't even have the vision. Smart enough to know the Aurora or someone might be backing there. Stops the back. Forces her to stay. Nice stacking on the Swain. But great game. I am super excited for this game so far. Thanks for joining us here at LOL Midwest. This is a fun evening. Darius is up here. So here we are. We're down on the second drag. I'm going to zoom out here. PB&J does have huge prio. This could be exact same thing as game 1 where they Mechanics get first drag, but PB&J takes the second. This should give the window for Mechanics just to trade objectives here, something they weren't able to do last game in this situation. So making sure that they don't give up those mites, that really ended up having an impact last game and allowing PB&J to secure that tier 2 top. Won't be happening this time as they do not have the Void Mites. They barely are able... Oh, they don't even get the Grubs. Grubs despawn. Herald spawns. A very uncommon situation when it happens. Feels extremely bad. They are only able to secure 1 Grub, but 1 Grub is better than 0 Grubs. So they deny the 4 Grubs for the other side. Secure a Grub for them. All in all, a win. Poppy does immediately start this Herald. They still have prio around here. They should be able to secure it. This Skarner already stacking his Heartsteel, as we can see. Something I'm going to be keeping my eye on the rest of this game. Does appear that the Mechanics are going to be able to secure a turret to answer the turret that was taken by it. Darius is running headfirst towards this Amumu. Unable to get there. Could have been aggressive and used the flash for it. I was expecting it. I was ready to call it. We do see heavy pings coming out from PB&J. They want to get into this mid lane. Skarner goes in, able to get the Cassiopeia ulted, which allows Ahri to follow up. Ahri getting a second kill onto that Sivir, double kill for the Ahri. Huge lead now for PB&J, 2k lead. They're looking to force a game 3 here. They're going to take that tier 1 mid. Remember, Poppy still does have this Herald, so 2k lead isn't the end of the world, especially when it's even Drakes. You have a 4-kill Cassiopeia who's stacking that Rod of Ages. She will have a popped Rod of Ages around 21-ish minutes. It's like 2050, I think, is when she will have her full Rod of Ages. We see it at 5 stacks right here, so. Not much going to be going on right now. What I'm keeping my eye on is this bounty for this Ahri. How is Mechanics going to get onto this Ahri and stop her from really taking over? She's taken over 2 really big moments in this game now. Let's see if she can keep it rolling. At this point, we'll see if this Ahri can put the team on their back, so to speak, and take it to that game 3 that we all want. Not too much going on. We do see this Ahri now in the top lane. She doesn't have that TP up. Not that it really matters. We do see 3 people on the side of Mechanics coming down. This Darius is in trouble. There's a lot of CC coming out, a lot of tankiness. Now it's a 4v1. This Darius won't be able to do anything. Let's see if they can actually trade aggro, though, well for it. He doesn't even get an aggro range. Unfortunate that the Darius doesn't even put up any level of a fight. Doesn't even allow any chance for a 1-for-1, and that's going to be huge for the Mechanics, is now they're going to drop the Herald in this bot lane. We see the exact same thing coming up to this Aurora, but she ults. She's able to get a ridiculous Aurora angle. Skarner pops his W, isn't able to get to the Aurora because she dashes out, but wow, that was so well played by the Aurora. Mechanics on the bot side here are able to pick up that tier 2, getting huge gold influx. It's an even game once again. Those leads that the PB&J get, they're very, very... they do not last long, unfortunately. Very well played for the side of the Mechanics. A lot going on here. Huge Amumu, able to hit 3 of them. Big follow-up there for the Mechanics. It's going to be a 2-for-0. This might be a 3-for-0 into that dragon. That is a double kill for the Cassiopeia. that Ahri shutdown goes on to the Sivir. That is ginormous. Now, what was once a 2k deficit just 2 minutes ago for the Mechanics, they're up 1.5k now. So almost 2k, actually. This is almost a 2k gold lead. So they're going to be able to get this second Drake. It is an Ocean Drake, once again, going to be so valuable on a Mumu, Poppy, even things like an Aurora, who kind of like drain tanks, can deal with it as well. Second, you know, they do this a little bit slower. If Skarner can get in here, actually, it's a smite. If Poppy has 1200 smite, Skarner has 900 smite. There's no way he's ever going to win that unless they just get some CC down. But they are following in on this. Skarner opts in to go ult the Poppy, gets her down. The kill goes onto the Darius. They're still chasing. I'm pretty sure that from here on out, the Mechanics should be able to get out, except the Aurora is trying to fight this, I guess. Amumu and Aurora going a little too aggressive on this, and another big turn. The Mechanics are able to still have the gold lead as they are able to take a turret here. The Sivir does secure, well, not the Sivir, but anyway, around the map they were able to get gold. They're still up 600. The Cassiopeia is scaling pretty hard now. Her Rod of Ages pops in 50 seconds. She is going to be taking that Archangels, and that's going to become a Seraphs very shortly here. But this is, yeah, that if that Amumu and that Aurora just get out of there, I genuinely am shocked that I saw that at this level of play. That's what makes League of Legends so fun. It's such a difficult game. Everyone makes mistakes and slip-ups. I mean, Aurora may know her limits way better than I do. I don't know anything about Aurora limits, so if she really felt confident taking that, especially after Amumu died in a 1v4, you know, there's certain champs who can do that, or could have done that if the conditions were a little bit better. So the next thing we're going to be looking around is Dragon's out for another 3 minutes. So let's see. I'm really interested to see how the Mechanics play this, because last game they were harassing this top side of PB&J. And now that they're on the red side this game, I wonder if they're going to also be harassing around the Baron side. That's what I would expect. Right now, however, PB&J does have Prior around this top side river, so they are going to secure the Scuttle, which is going to matter. There's no way they do this Baron, though. Okay. So Aurora is splitting in the top side. She doesn't have TP. So if, I guess Darius is now matching. I was going to say, if the if PB&J were keeping track of Aurora TP, they could have forced a 5v4 there around Baron, but Darius opted to match the Aurora. They're dancing around this Baron. Swain able to hit a very nice W onto the Amumu. Continue stacking. How many Swain stacks are we at? Let's see. The Swain is only at 25 stacks, but not bad. You know, you take it. It's 300 extra health. 25 at 22 minutes is a little low. I like to see at minimum 1.5 per minute when I play Swain, but he had some tough moments in this game. Like, we did miss down here on the bot side. They did commit to this Darius, which does force PB&J to start this Baron. And it's going to be a 3v4 on this Baron. Let's see if Mechanics can actually do it. Huge Skarner comes out onto the Amumu. They kill him. It is a 2v4 as TP comes in for Aurora. 3v4 now. Let's see if she can come in and actually do something. But the Swain takes down the Cassiopeia. That is a 2 for one on the map, I guess, if you consider the Darius, but this Sivir is still split pushing, so they aren't able to get the Baron on the side of PB&J. Let's see if they can actually stop their backs here. I think she secures this inhib turret. Maybe not. TP coming in on the backside here, so she's gonna have a tough time finding her way out of this. They do get vision on her very quickly. Ahri Charm does miss. She does have this blast cone. She sees the Ahri go the other way, goes there. She might try to flash out of this. She does flash out of it. She is able to get out. That Sivir did not want to die today, son. Man, what wild high-level plays this game. Skarner comes in trying to get this follow-up. Big CCs onto the Amumu. He should fall. He does not tank very, very well coming from the support position. Kill does go to the Darius there. But some high-level plays with that escape from the Sivir. Being able to get that huge split push, forcing them off of the Baron at the meantime while down a man. And then that Aurora crazy ult in this area earlier, that was just absolutely bonkers. They are diving this mid lane, trying to take the tier 2, as it looks like PB&J is going to secure this dragon, so it's going to even out the dragons at 2 and 2. Mechanics unable to get that mid tier 2, so gold still within 1,000. It's about 1,000 right now. We're looking at a potential game 3. Here we go. Big engage here. Swain able to take down the Poppy to start the fight. Big Amumu ult also coming in, but the health bars of PB&J are blinking, and they should be able to chase him down. Aurora be able to pick up Swain, and Sivir able to pick up Darius there on her way out. Still fighting this Skarner. Skarner has to find his way. He skedaddles on out of there. They do have vision on him. They might be able to CC him if he really wants to commit. He is really trying to force them off this Baron, and they are low. He probably won't be able to kill them by themselves, but he forces them to leave the area, which is very nice. They are starting to back here. He's going to stop their backs. Let's give it up, chat. You enjoying this? Are you as entertained as me? Do have dragon spawning in 3.5 minutes, so that'll be important. This could be a very long game. Here we go. So PB&J trying to get some vision into this mechanics jungle on the top side. Comes Skarner just W'ing forward, or E'ing. It's not W, it's a Z in it. Nice Swain stacking. Really chunking down that Sivir. That Sivir at just under half health, so something to make note of there. She's played very well. She is 5-1 and 5 on 3 items, so Skarner does opt to ult the Aurora there going in. They are able to secure the kill. Darius gets a double there. Poppy has to ult Skarner and Rakan out just to stay afloat here. Mechanics lose 2-0 with Baron up. They still have a gold lead. They still have their jungler on the map, so Poppy does not have ult though, so getting into this Baron will be tough. She does have the Hex Flash, so let's see if they're able to get some vision. Amumu, it appears that PB&J is just going to be able to take this Baron. There's nothing that they can do here. 3v5 on the map with 2 big tanks that are just going to walk in and get ambushed. They could have smite fighted it, but they don't. No guts, no glory. Baron goes to the side of PB&J. So now we have to really start talking about which team scales better. And obviously with Swain, you have like potential infinite healing with something like a Skarner and a Heartsteel. Or not healing, scaling. Infinite scaling on many fronts. Rakan is just always very valuable when it's 50 minutes into a game. The ability for a nasty Rakan engage to start a fight when everybody is just as strong as they're ever going to be. That's always valuable. On the side of the mechanics, though, I mean, you're always going to have a Mumu engaged. Sivir is extremely strong. Cassiopeia as well. So you definitely have the ability, I think, that's not just like a get 50 minutes and you lose situation. Both teams scale very well. I think the potential for infinite scaling does benefit PB&J. Big TP flank around this mid tier 2. Big Skarner able to hit so many. Big engage follow up, but this Swain ulti is doing a lot of damage. Aurora on the backside pops her ult, but doesn't do any damage as they're able to secure the kill onto the Poppy 2. This could be the beginning of the end. They take the mid tier 2. They're going to be marching. They should be an inhibitor at least. They do have that Baron buff. Let's see how aggressive they are in wanting to end this game and take us to a game 3. They only take the inhib as they're going to look to get this soul point. It's spawning in 10 seconds. They use their Baron backs. They're going to have a lot of gold to cash in after taking that objective, those fights, turret gold. Big cash-ins coming for the side of PB&J as their gold lead is now 2K. People in chat are saying, how did Skarner get through ban phase? And I don't know. Skarner is... It's funny. I am one of the 2 people that aren't Captain Flowers that mained old Skarner. And for a very long time. And I actually am still very sad about the rework just because I love flash ulting people and you can't flash ult people anymore. But PB&J here has big prio on this dragon. Forces mechanics out. They're just going to walk out of there. Going to put them at soul point. Baron buff does expire for PB&J in 15 seconds, so they got what they're going to get with that. Still very winnable game for the mechanics here, as they've shown that they're very formidable when they can hit crazy combos. And the outplay potential from this Aurora. She's had some really crazy plays. It's been a while, but when she hits, especially like her Void Staff and even a 4th item, I think it could be very, very scary for them when she's flanking. Looks like PB&J is going to secure this tier 2. They do have those 3 grubs. Poppy does ult the Skarner and the Rakan out once again, which forces Darius and Swain to just walk on out. Swain also burned in the process. Ahri able to split push on the top side, so keeping this pressure on both sides, really all around the map. I look to see the mechanics take this jungle while they can. Big fight here. We do see the Skarner ult once again coming out. Darius able to secure the kill onto the Poppy. Lots of damage going all around. Darius is very big now as he secures a double kill, but Sivir does pick up a kill on the backside. Huge damage coming in from the Cassiopeia as she walks up. It is a 2 for 2 so far. Let's see how aggressive the mechanics want to be. They have the advantage from this point forward as PB&J are forced to their heels just to walk on out of there. Keep going. The DPS coming from this Sivir. Is she able to take down this Skarner? Skarner doing a lot of damage. Very tanky. He forces his flash. Still goes down. 1 for 1 so far. Another big shutdown onto this Darius. He's at 10 kills now. He is scary. So it's looking like that that Darius counterpick into the Aurora is really, really paying off here late. I can show the damage graph, but it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you a like and a follow. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, of course it will. I think in a game like this, I didn't show the damage graph last game, but I 100% can for this game. Baron spawning in just now 20 seconds. This is going to be a big moment in this game. Only a 1,600 gold lead for the side of PB&J, and they don't have that full soul yet. So Mechanics definitely have the ability to do this. Both solo laners for the side of Mechanics are level 17. Nobody on the side of PB&J, despite getting that nice Baron XP, are level 17. So really looking to see what they can do here. If they can harass while they have this... I think level advantage does matter, especially when you're level 17 and they're not. Doing your best to maybe try to make a play. They're going to clear this vision on this Baron. I'll take your peanuts and lint. That sounds good to me. That's a deal. So they're just dancing around 5v5. We are 35 minutes into the game. Let's see what they do here. Looks like Poppy gets caught out. Huge Skarner ult comes on to 3. But how far can they sustain? They aren't sustaining very much. The damage just is not there so far. But the Sivir damage actually does come through. Poppy able to barely get out on the skin of her teeth. It is actually... surprisingly to me, a 3 for 2 in favor of the Mechanics. They are not going to be able to get the Baron. Both junglers are still up, but the damage is not going to be there, and the health bars are blinking too far for the Mechanics. Now it's a 2v2 in the mid lane. Poppy is no longer there. I don't know how they're going to get out of this. It does appear that the Sivir is going to die. Can she take the Skarner out? She cannot. Unfortunate. Unnecessary. Could be a reason we go to a game 3 here. Dragon spawning in 10 seconds. PB&J start this dragon. Amumu has no way... he's not even their jungler. Yeah, there's no way that Mechanics are going to stop this. This is going to be Soul going over to Peanut Butter and Jelly Time. And can't even get Baron on the other side but for they did get Vision cleared from Baron for them, but that is very unfortunate. This is very much looking like the beginning of the end now. Coming back from that Soul, when you have a Skarner who has nearly 500 heart steal stacks, that is bonkers. On a 3 Ocean Drake Ocean Soul, get out of here. Yeah, CLT, I got you. I just look for the score. Feel free to jump on if this goes to a game 3. It's looking like it might. A lot of wild series coming through. We'll see. PB&J has all the priority. They can walk right through. They have this scary Skarner, this crazy damage. This Darius that is now approaching full build, very close to it. We'll see if Mechanics can get a nice pick, make a nice flank. In a game that's only 2k gold difference, it's reasonably close, but that Ocean Soul is a big gap. I'm looking for a potential outplay around Elder Drake, maybe a pick, a Smite Steal. That's looking like Mechanics' potential way, and PB&J do start this Baron. They are collapsing on him. It is going to be a 4v5 because that Cassiopeia split pushing. She does have TP. Poppy does ult the Swain out of there. They are fighting for this. Cassiopeia TPs, but she TPs into the mid lane. She should be TPing closer to the Baron. Mechanics are able to secure the Baron, and it looks like they're securing this fight too. I am dead wrong. Huge Swain ult comes through. Ahri has so much damage, able to take down the Aurora. Baron does go to the side of the Mechanics, but at what cost? Is we also see a 3 for 0. 3 for Baron. That's really the trade there. Might be a 4 as Poppy is trying to find her way out of there. They stop investing in her. She technically could push that top tier 2, but I think Amumu would just Baron buff on his own. Could hold for a bit, but They do, surprisingly, the minions are able to get the turret there, so huge win there for the side of the mechanics from that respect. Death timers are still 10 seconds for this Sivir. Does not appear that this Poppy and Mumu are going to be able to do anything to stop this game from going into a Game 3. Very well played. I think much better drafted for the side of Peanut Butter and Jelly. It is not over yet, but Darius does secure the kill on the Amumu. This Poppy is going down. She's at half health. Hitting a nice E on the Swain on his way out. Sivir unable to spell shield that. Looks like they are walking their way out of this base. They did so much damage to it. There is one Nexus turret still up, but they are taking that and considering it a win. Big Sivir damage coming out from that Q. Puts that Ahri very low. She's, if she backs in the wrong place, she might find herself dead to another Sivir Q. Yeah, Jangy Bronze Scrapes. Woo, woo. I actually said that, like, last week in one of my streams. So that's, I don't think you got it from that, but that's actually funny. Bronze Scrapes, yeah. We'll play, like, a really, really crappy version of Silver Scrapes. Like, it's still the song Silver Scrapes, but it's so distorted. Alright, so, yeah, it's definitely looking like the beginning of the end here. We do have Elder spawning in 2 minutes, but I don't know how, I mean, for either side at this point, if somehow the mechanics are able to get a crazy turn on Elder or a pick, or a crazy Poppy ult, get an Elder and just wipe the floor, that we're at 70k team gold at this point, so even with the Ocean Soul, it's like Elder fight and end either way. I don't think that the mechanics can't do it. It'll be very hard. This Aurora looking to get a little bit more gold before this Elder. She's likely going to push these waves back and then TP in, I would expect. Looks like she might be completing that full Zhonya's. She's going to continue pushing. 5 are already bot side for the side of BB&J. They have a lot of prio here. Although, mechanics do have that scuttle vision in the river. It's not going to last much longer, but they do have a sneaky little ward that is just now caught out. Mechanics here are deciding just to hard push the mid lane. They're saying, we're going for broke here, and we're going to try it in this game, and I think they actually might be able to. They do secure that second inhib, that mid inhib, so they have 2 down. Big Skarner ult. Poppy, I've never seen that interaction. Amumu ult does come out, does secure a few. Poppy able to secure the kill. On to Rakan. This is looking like a wild fight in favor of PB&J. I don't know if Sivir and Aurora actually going to be able to fend off now with these long 1-minute death timers. This look, especially with Elder up, they went for broke. They came up broke, and we're going to a game 3. Very well played. We got Bronze Scrapes. Yeah, Poppy, that Skarner interaction, that was wonky. Very well played, very well played. Very curious to see. So, we'll see if this is a blue side series. Mechanics should take blue side again. We'll see if blue side wins all 3 games, and we'll go from there. Okay. So here's damage charts. Sivir doing a lot of damage there. Very good spread damage from the side of PB&J. I can even change the outlook of this real quick. We'll just do that. And I'm going to change this series score to 1-1. Very nice. I expect sides to change, so I'm just getting it ready now. Perfect. What a game! I'm excited for game 3. Okay. Looking good. We're going to take a quick little break, and I'll be back as we prepare for this game 3. So we are just now getting into this Game 3 draft. As I fully expected, the mechanics are back on blue side. We'll see if blue side wins all 3 games of this series. Happy to see chat as active as it is. Welcome to all the people joining us. It's been a great 3-game series. See an Udyr banned in the first round of bans this side for the mechanics. They have banned it this series, but they've generally waited till the second round of bans. So interesting to see that they're first banning this Udyr. They also do not like that Swain ADC APC that came out from Peanut Butter and Jelly last game. So they do ban that fairly quickly as well. It did make so much difference in a lot of those team fight engages, especially in those late dives. They could fight them anywhere and it did not matter. They also opted to ban the Skarner, which is very, very smart. If they weren't planning taking Skarner on 1 there, we saw how terrifying that Skarner got when his Heartsteel was hitting 500 stacks. It was absolutely wild. So as predicted by chat, Udyr and Skarner were banned. Also opting to ban the Swain. I dig it. They first picked the Viktor just as they did last in Game 1, which worked out very well for them. Viktor, since the rework, I've casted him in at least 3 games, if not more, and I know that he has had 3 wins. I say rework, but it's not really it's very minor. But the changes to the ult and stuff, I think, especially when teams are playing things like Amumu ults and just stuff like that, it is so deadly and disgusting. In response to the Viktor, they take the Corki once again, just as they did in Game 1. They really like that Corki, and to be honest, the Corki played extremely well and got a big lead in that game. I like the Corki ADC again. Very interesting ADC picks out of Peanut Butter and Jelly this series. Corki ADC's been very, very strong in the last few months in the meta, but it's not something I haven't seen a lot lately, or as lately as I had been seeing. And so that mixed with the Swain. They do take the Galio here, which I think is so much stronger than last time they did this draft in Game 1. They picked Corki Syndra, and I was very critical of it, and I think it was not the greatest draft and just a flawed draft. But taking the Corki Galio, I think just gives them so much more utility that they lacked in that Game 1. In response, we do see that Jarvan again. Very, very strong. We'll see the Jarvan on the other side, actually, because the last time the Jarvan was played, that was on Peanut Butter and Jelly, if I'm not mistaken. So this time, the Small Brain No Mechanics taking the Jarvan, and it actually also denies the Jarvan from Peanut Butter and Jelly, which is not a bad move. And they take the Scion, so they're saving ADC support for last 2 picks, unless this is some kind of like support Scion, which would be absolutely bonkers. But they're taking the Scion on 3 here, gonna take support in ADC on 4-5. They take the Gwen there. Nice tank shredder. She can really, really do some damage. She can get a nice snowball if there's like a 2v2 in the top lane and she gets a double kill. She can just be absolutely gross. Yeah, I agree, CLT. The saving the support ADC, that's why I brought it up. It's just so interesting to me. It's not something you see super often. You see support saved, but not picking ADC in top 3 is generally, I would say, uncommon. Unless it's just like a super power pick meta and you want to secure all the power picks as fast as you can before everything's banned out. In that case, there's an argument. But outside of that, you'd think solo laners in jungle would have preferred counter pick. So in the bans, they ban Thresh Aatrox on the side of the mechanics, something they've banned and has been played in this series they've banned the Aatrox before, and Thresh just played earlier. They do take that Rakan. Once again, on the side of Peanut Butter Jelly. Looking like a very nice team fight comp from the side of Peanut Butter and Jelly. You have the crazy CCs from Galio. Lots of utility there. Then Rakan as well. So the Corki Gwen follow-up could be absolutely deadly if you just get CC locked by the Galio Rakan. They do take the Xayah here. And for the support, so far I like their draft. I personally would like to see an Enchanter support here. Really beef up that Xayah in lane. Maybe give her some ability to do some damage. But they opt for the Amumu here, taking, presumably taking it away from Peanut Butter and Jelly in the jungle as well. They're hovering this Gragas. Let's see if they lock it in. Mundo, yeah, so on draft value, I so prefer Peanut Butter and Jelly draft. I don't dislike Small Brain No Mechanics, but I would have liked to see, I don't know, blinding the Scion on 3 when you don't need to pick top there is just bonkers to me. I genuinely don't understand it. Like, I could see, like, Cassante. Like, taking Cassante in that situation is different. Scion, unless this is the Balfs in North America right now, just rogue under, you know. But I'm pretty sure this guy's not the Balfs, but I can't verify that. So. Yeah, true. In chat, yeah, the Amumu Victor, I've seen it yesterday and today multiple times, and that Amumu Victor combo is absolutely deadly, so you are 100% right, but I don't know, I just really like the utility of the Galio Rakan. I think the team is just extremely balanced, and the ability for Galio to come in and something like a Mundo or even a Rakan engage is just so valuable. Like Rakan engage into a Galio ult into just like Corki DPSing. That's disgusting. Thanks for joining us. We starting to get some traction. Welcome everybody. This game 3. Right. So once again, we're going to be a few minutes behind. So they're going to play out the draft. We'll wait about 3 minutes and then we'll get launched into the game. This is week 3. This is for basically being 2-1 or 1-2, which is significantly different. Starting 2-1 feels good. Starting 1-2 feels terrible. It's not like this is week 1 or 2. This is the third week of the league. Teams are starting to take place in the standings. This is a pivotal matchup, pivotal game here in Group B. Yeah. It's nice to see the Bouse. Dude just solo killed Faker, and then he's like, I'm gonna go play in some amateur NA league. Classic. The Bouse special, I dig it. I'm down with the Bouse special. I just want to see a good game. I have to be impartial, I think, to make it fun. But I do favor the draft of Peanut Butter and Jelly in this one. Mundo vs. Sion will be fun to cast. Like, it doesn't sound fun, but to me, that's some of the most fun. Two big beefy boys. So we just got 3 minutes before we get in. Also, the standings back up in the league for the viewers. So these are the standings. We have the Mechanics and Peanut Butter and Jelly vying for a tie for second place in Group B. I appreciate all of you joining us here tonight in this Week 3 matchup. So we're about a minute away from getting in. Alright, here we go. We're in for this game 3. Let's have a fun, clean game, guys. Let's have some action. Let's have some bloody action. 2 very good games. Last night's series that I casted with Arpai Spies was also a banger series. It was the Benchers and Coin Flip. This series also an absolute banger. So you see the side of the mechanics. They are pinging for this top side entry over here. We'll see what they got up their sleeve. They have a pretty good level 1 here with the Amumu. If he does, he's a support Amumu, he can very easily start Q. He does hit his first bandage toss here. This Gwyn already does choose to pop the ghost, and it is the Gwyn jungle and the Mundo top. That Gwyn jungle, that's so wild. I ain't never seen anything like that, PB&J. She's forced to pop the ghost. All in all, 1 summoner popped. Just that ghost for the Gwyn there. So let's see. And once again from PB&J, nice deep ward on the blue buff of mechanics, and then another nice ward on the Raptors of the mechanics. Very strong vision, something for opponents to take note of when you're playing. Maybe starting an early sweeper and kind of sweeping out the spots. They have spots they like. Up in the top lane, Mortal Kombat up here. Let's go. Both junglers starting on the bot side. Jarvan starting on his Raptors and pathing down. Gwyn now on her Gromp. Galio should be a very nice, be able to absorb Victor. Unless Victor does get out of hand, able to scale and all that. But able to sustain in lane very well. Jarvan does go Raptors Krugs into his red buff. So starting his red buff respawn quite late. Not a pathing I can say that I can recall seeing before. Very interesting. Sion pushing hard into this Mundo. Even CS. He's being very, very aggressive. Mundo already popped his pots and they're done healing. Sion has a pot and a biscuit, so something to make note of. Jarvan showing in this mid lane here. We'll see. He has a really nice angle onto this Galio. Forces the Galio flash. Victor flash and Jarvan flash come out at the same time to secure it. They are able to get it. The kill. First blood does go on to the Jarvan there. Very nicely played by the mechanics. Gwyn does 4 camp and then come topside. She is looking to make a play. Sion did have vision in the river there, so he did see her come through. Let's see. We do see Ghost popped from Mundo. Jarvan in the area. A lot. 3 here now for the side of the mechanics. They're going in. Gwen able to secure the kill onto the Jarvan, but it's going to be a 2-for-1. Victor secures the kill onto the Gwen. Sion secures the kill onto the Mundo. Very nice. Very well done. Down on the bot side, looks like because the knowledge of where that Gwen was, PB&J is pushing hard with this Corki, as Corki can be so aggressive early, especially when you know where the jungler is. You can really pick some spots and just blast some damage on him. That kill onto that Victor is going to feel very nice. Victor also notably picking up those double buffs. So people in chat are talking about the Victor stacks. That Victor double buff is so valuable at this point in the game because he can stay until 6 freely. He has no reason, especially with already having burn TP, to like leave lane unless some crazy misplay happens and he gets caught. But very well played. Up here in the top lane, we do see this Jarvan on the top side. He's probably going to pop a plant. No, he chooses not to. Just goes straight to his Grump. So far, Gwen getting that Blasting Wand and Jarvan getting that Caulfield's Hammer. So both junglers getting those damage items, as you see. Could make a difference here later. Mumu starts it back, but it could be a misleading back. There's no reason for him to complete it. He is showing all summoners are up on both sides of this bot side looking for a possible engage here as they're both kind of dancing around at this midpoint. No mana for the side of this Rakan, though, or this Xayah. Mumu does complete the back, so Xayah alone getting solo XP, but doesn't have mana. Has to be a little careful here. Does not want to get caught. Gwen does start the dragon. We do see a nice mid-push. Galio letting that crash and then rotating over to the dragon. Very well played. They have the prio in the bot lane too. We'll see how aggressive they are in the bot lane. Xayah did just hit 5. They are starting the engage on her. She flashes the Rakan on engage. She's taking a lot of aggro. A lot of turret shots to the Corki. Xayah able to secure the kill. Almost gets 2, and she doesn't die. 1 tick away from Ignite, does not die. Gwen able to secure that dragon, though. On the other side, Jarvan getting those grubs. Mumu, this nice support roam. Let's see if he's able to execute. Able to take that aggro, allowing that Sion to go in. Now able to do a little bit more damage. They do secure the kill, and he does get out of there. Very well played by that Amumu support roam. Securing that 1-for-1. Mechanics have a near 2,000 gold lead in this game. They don't have the dragon, but they do have those grubs. This Gwen able to farm up in the jungle. She hits 6 now. She should complete these Krugs and then back. She's going to start it back. Go to that blue buff and then maybe start looking at plays on the map. I'm curious to see how much gold she's going to cash in and what she chooses to buy with it. She does get that recurve bow as we see. So along with another tome, she's going to be able to really do some damage at this point. Victor is looking scary as well as we look at items across the map. He does have that lost chapter already, plus the boots and a tome. He also still has a pot, so able to have some extra sustain here in the lane. We do have that Infernal Drake that PB&J did secure. It's going to go into a Mountain Drake. 2 very good Drakes to have on something like a Gwen going around that's going to just beef her up in every regard. Also something like a Galio too, so very nice early Drakes if they can stack them. Nice engage up here in the top lane. They do catch Mundo out. Jarvan does go in. The kill is secured there. And they're going to push this Sion in. I believe Jarvan got the kill there, which is very nice. Getting that kill. Wanting to get some damage acceleration on him quickly. Making Jarvan very scary. If he can ult someone like an ADC and just start wailing on him, that's really where the true value can come in. It's so hard to play around a Jarvan that does a lot of damage. Never mind the just natural utility. Oh, barely misses the bandage toss. Rakan actually did not need to stop his back there. I don't know how valuable that is. It does offset the timers quite a bit. We do see Sion forced to ult his way out as he's proxy farming. He's most likely going to die to Gwen here. Sion does burn the flash trying to die here, but he's not going to be able to. Gwen is going to secure it. It's going to be a nice kill gold onto the Gwen there. He is going to delay this mid lane. Just do what Sion does. Sion things. These grubs are spawning in 45 seconds. We'll see how Prio's played around it. We do have a little bit of a scuffle here in the mid lane. Galio just able to sustain. He does get that Spectre's Cowl early. So, despite not a ton of AP damage around the map, really wanting to be crazy tanky for that Victor specifically, making that lane just so smooth for him. He is going to be feeling good there with the extra MR he's bought. So we do see a Jarvan engage. TP coming in for the side of, is that the Galio? So far, nobody's dead. Big Galio engage. Big taunt. Very well played. So far, it looks like the peanut butter and jelly actually gets caught there. Mechanics able to get a 2 for nothing so far. 3 for nothing total. Or 2 for nothing. My mistake. Xayah is able to push hard on the bot side as a counterplay. Get a lot of solo gold in her. So that is one way to look at a positive side of things here, but you are down 3k in total. You're about to give up grubs, and you unnecessarily gave up a lot there to really accelerate a nasty mid-jungle duo. Xayah not quite able to get 3 plates. She doesn't have mana. If Galio is able to find a way in on her, engage around the grubs. I don't know what the mechanics are going to do about this. Nice 2v3. They are going to not be able to secure that 6th grub. They do get 5. PB&J does get that 1, which at times can be just nice in the next couple minutes if someone finds himself pushing a turret. That 1 grub can always be helpful. Does look like they're going to push this in, try to dive here. They have that Rakan, they have that Mundo, they have that Gwen. Let's see, they actually are not going to. Galio cross map here, able to get a plate. Should be able to get 2. That 1 grub, as I'm saying, is really helping him. He may have left a little early. He does get that 2nd plate. Mechanics do have Prio on the 2nd dragon. They still are up over 3,000 gold, so this is very important that they're able to secure this 2nd dragon, or 1st dragon for them, but the 2nd in the game, stopping that dragon stacking. I'm curious to see what soul we're about to see coming through. So we do have a Hextech soul, which is very nice to get a soul like that. We haven't had anything like it in this series so far. Big Mumu bandage toss into a Jarvan ultimate, able to secure the kill onto the Rakan there. They're still looking for this Corki. 4 diving in the spot lane. Corki gets ignited. Corki gets killed. Very well played, trading the aggro there with the Amumu and the Jarvan. Victor now with 4 kills, Jarvan with 3. This is looking like a pretty big stomp on the side of the mechanics. It's tough to see PB&J's way back into this without the mechanics just misplaying and giving up those bounties. They can really accelerate this from this point forward if they want to. They have 5 grubs. They stop the dragon stacking. They're up over 5,000 gold. This Victor is an absolute menace. Yeah, as chat's saying, we're 13 minutes into this game and they're up 5,000 gold. That feels absolutely terrible. When you see the completed item on the Victor, on the Jarvan, it's just even scarier. Mundo did notably complete that Heartsteel, so him stacking that, I mean, he's doesn't have any stacks. It's 14 minutes. That does not feel good either. But at least he can start stacking it. Something to look for on the bright side. Start that infinite stacking and scaling. They are going to look to dive this Scion. They are going to target the turret. Very well played with that one grub from the side of PB&J. Now they actually aren't able to. They didn't have enough minions. They were extremely close, but this Scion is now turning this. He does miss the big Q there. I don't think that they're able to kill him like they were able to, but he decides to very, I guess, ballsily go in, but he is standing his ground, forces the TP out from that Victor. Victor just annihilates that Gwen, blows her up. TP matched here, coming through from Galio, but it does not matter. That Victor did so much damage to the Xayah. Very well played here, coming from this Scion, not allowing these champions to get away, which allows this Victor to do damage. The flash forced out from the Galio. Let's see if he's able to escape. He is able to, so a lot invested from both sides, but overall just extending the gold lead for the side of the mechanics. They're getting so much in this top lane. It looks like they just drop a Herald. They should be able to win this 3v2 and honestly probably clean sweep it. There goes down Mundo. And there's nothing this Gwen can do. This is looking like a very fast... This game will be over very, very quickly. Let's hear it up. Thanks for everybody joining here. If you are not generally watching, you can join us if you go to the links in this stream. Join the Discord. Rec League chat is where you can find more about it. There's Rec League links where you can get to the websites with our standings for our league. All that good thing. All those good things. Feel free to join. So we'll see here how PB&J decide to play it out from here. Gonna be real tough from this spot in the game. They do have a Gwen with 3 kills, but that's it. The Infernal Drake isn't looking so helpful now when you're down 8k. They've extended this lead to 8,000. We just hit 17 minutes, so this is going to be a tough game for PB&J. I actually don't know exactly what all they buffed for Rika, but what I do know is that Victor has the heart of the cards. And, you know, that's all you really need. It's in the heart of the cards, Yug. So this Scion is finding his way. The PB&J is investing 4 in the top lane, but Scion does what Scion does. And the Baus exit there very easily. No sweat. And he's just going to stay here. Catch this Mundo, possibly. This Mundo who still doesn't have Spell Shield. Able to miss his slow, but gets a nice Q. Gwen coming right back up to this Scion. Scion with no ult now. Scion has to know that people are in the area. Here comes the Gwen. She starts her ult. Let's see. She should be able to shred him very easily handed. This shouldn't go much longer. Across the map, we do see mechanics continue to harass the mid lane, continue to harass the bot lane. They have full play on this map. They can do whatever the heck they want. So we'll see. They were able to secure that first Hextech Dragon a minute ago when we were focused on the top lane. So able to continue that dragon stacking for mechanics. Very clear path forward. Not much else to see. We'll see if they're able to smoothly end this game as they so easily should be able to. They decide to pop the Herald, so they have so much pressure here, up so much gold, just drop the Herald, got the grubs. Here comes the Sion ult. They're just going all in here. Big Amumu ult coming out, big Jarvan ult. So far, 2 for nothing, or 1 for nothing. Now a 2 for nothing in favor of the mechanics. Now a 3 for nothing. Might even be a... Well, they won't be able to get a clean ace because Mundo is pushing that top lane. Able to get that extra Herald charge onto mid-tier 2 and the inhibitor. Are they really going to try to end this? They should be able to be honest. Herald able to get that, was that 1, 2, 3, 4 charges off? Very well played to get that Herald. They are going to find themselves a little bit overextended. Health bars are very low. Mundo is kind of tanky at this point. Does have a fair amount of stacks on his Heartsteel. Galio coming in, but the Victor damage to the backline of the Rakan just blows him up. They take so much. They're up 10k at 20 minutes. Rarika is saying GG in chat. And I gotta be honest with you, after 2 great game 1 and 2, this is a very disappointing game 3, but hats off to the mechanics. Is Blue Side is gonna win all 3 games for this series. Very notable. Very nice back line engage from the Sion there. Just very easily handed, takes out that Galio. One of the little bits of tank they have. They're just going to, even with PB&J having vision on this Baron, they're just starting it up and they don't care. Take Baron in the game. I am ready to eat some dinner. K'Sante was a menace in game 1, I will say that. But I agree. Victor should have been banned over. But K'Sante did have a significant impact in game 1. So at this point, yeah, up 10k with Baron buff. We'll see what... how this game ends. This is Victor. Getting the scuttle vision around this next dragon, which does spawn in 45 seconds. They're just going to harass in this jungle. When you're up to have this big of a lead in the game, you can essentially do whatever you want. They're just going to slowly bleed this game out, as the mechanics are certainly going to be 2-1. Nice Jarvan just splitting them up, able to secure that bot tier 2 a little quicker, forcing them to back off. Mechanics are going to continue pushing everywhere they can on the map. They got Sion in the mid lane. They have the other 4 in the bot lane. They got Dragon spawning here in 2 seconds, and they should be able to get their 3rd Dragon. They're likely going to secure this bot lane inhib, at least the bot lane inhib turret, and then they're going to make their way to that Dragon. Let's get a nice little zoom out here. Oh, there we go. So we see all 5 on each team here. PB&J on their heels as Mechanics can just bully to their heart's consent. They should look to end here. They likely won't even go for this dragon at this point. It looks like game is over, and I am ready. A whole lot of mechanics winning there. Actually, there's a bit of a turn there as they secured the Xayah kill. But too little too late. Xayah for team is not a trade when your Nexus is open. So, GG. Congrats to the mechanics. Very nice resolve. Able to bounce back after a crushing Game 2 defeat. That, in many ways, they did have moments where they were, it's not like this game where PB&J was totally out of it. Mechanics were in Game 2. So good resolve to come back. But thanks everybody for joining us. This has been a very long stream. Here's a quick damage chart. We see Sion Dabaus leading the way there. Also, very notable damage from the Victor. Very well played by everybody. We do see a little bit of trash talking in the Twitch chat. I want to see load the Kinnons in the playoffs. Some revenge. But it's been a wonderful 3-hour stream. I appreciate everybody who tuned in and joined us. This is Law Midwest. Feel free to join the Discord that is in the link in our chat. We stream very often. I personally probably won't be streaming till sometime next week. But it's been a fun week. And I'll see everybody next time. GG's.